Man, it's beautiful outside.
It's all right.
I feel like with all these people here, Kev, that we should not be here. I feel like.
All right. Well, that'll do it, Kinner and Kev.
Here on a Thursday.
It's been real.
Shortest show of the season. Of the year. It's only February. It's February.
Like History Month.
I have no clue how all these people in this building got all this PTO time accrued up.
I'm not going to talk.
Oh, that's fine.
Because I got something coming up next week. Did I tell you I was going to Vegas for the Super Bowl?
Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah. See, I see what you did there. It's not because Kinner was being a little too mouthy. It's because the hypocrisy police. Woo, woo, woo.
Deuces.
Totally fine, by the way.
God, actually, I accrued a whole day.
So you'll be honest on one of the days.
Yeah.
Just have a migraine or something on the other two.
The 4 other days, I don't know what I'm gonna say.
We have to do the show at Radio Row one time.
Yes,
like one time. Got a note today from the agent of Randy Moss because he is, what is he doing? He's promoting something, and asked if we were going to be out there. Yeah.
I mean,
Randy Moss.
I'm going to be there
to push. He'd like to talk about the advancements in safety for horse racing. So that's what these guys do.
Mm-hmm.
They hit up all these radio. Like if you notice, like every interview next week, whether it be the national shows or Radio Row shows, these guys will pop on and they're talking sports and you think everything is cool. And then bam, they're promoting some cream or something at the end.
Yeah.
Like, or, maybe some kind of cannabis or something. I don't know.
It's Vegas.
It's Ohio, I think. I don't know. Everyone losing their mind.
Issue 2, baby.
A lot of issues in Ohio. But welcome in the Kinner and Kev Show here on a Thursday, right here on 1410 ESPN Radio. Oh, yeah. I'm Justin Kinner. He's Kev Nash. Mr. Kev Nash. Welcome.
What up, Doug?
All right. A couple big headlines today that we're going to jump into right off the bat here on the show. The Washington Commanders have hired Dallas Cowboys defensive coordinator Dan Quinn to be their next head football coach. Quinn was last a head coach in the league when he ran the Atlanta Falcons and, of course, took them to a Super Bowl led by Matt Ryan. Of course, they're known for the 28-3. They handled Tom Brady and the Patriots in the first half, and then they're known for giving up the biggest comeback in Super Bowl history.
Yeah. And also Kyle Shanahan was the offensive coordinator of that team. And I actually saw a little graphic floating around about Kyle Shanahan's mishaps, blown leads. That came up. I was like, I forgot he was the OC on that team. But good job for Dan Quinn to get back into the head coaching realm. He was so connected to the Seahawks job. They end up getting the DC from the Ravens. He's only 36 years old, which is crazy. But good for Dan Quinn. But I know in the interview process, I'm sure it came up like, hey, man, what happened in that Green Bay game? It had to come up, right?
How much? I mean, I get that. Like, so many people, I saw some, not all Bengals fans, but some Bengals fans today ticked off that Anarumo. Oh, so Quinn gets a job after his bad defense in the playoffs, but Anarumo doesn't get a job. The reason I'm defending Quinn was one bad game.
Mm-hmm.
Biggest stage of the season, but how much of that is on Quinn? I mean, some games the players just come out. I mean, was it the game plan? I mean, I didn't sit there and watch every second of that Cowboys game to know. Was it just a bad game plan, like the Ravens' bad offensive approach and defense approach and everything? Like with Anarumo, it was just bad defense all season long. Right. So as far as Quinn goes, good job for him, but is it a good hire for the Commanders, though? That's going to be the thing. It's an offensive. We always throw out names as possible candidates for these head coaching jobs. And to the NFL's credit, you rip all the time how many times teams go back to the well. The NBA is really bad at that. The NFL was bad at that for a long time. I feel like the NFL has done a very good job over the last 2 or 3 years.
Yes.
The Rooney Rule is still a weird thing that I think the intent was right, but it's still a mockery as far as that's concerned. Put that aside, I still think the league, they're doing these teams are going after young offensive minds.
Yeah.
That's how you end up, of course, with Bill Belichick still looking for a job. That's how you end up with Vrabel still looking for a job. That's why I'm questioning whether it was a good hire for the Commanders. You have big name head coaches who didn't get a job because they're known for their defense, not known for their offense. So that's why I'm questioning this hire by the Commanders at this point.
Yeah, I mean, there are some defensive guys. Obviously, the guy from the Ravens, their DC, Antonio Pierce, DC for the Raiders before he was the interim coach. Now he's the permanent head coach. But yeah, I think that the NFL does do a good job with that, trying to hire new blood, try new things. I think we get sometimes the NFL teams go to a old well type of thing when it's hey man, I don't know what else to do. So I commend these teams out there, but like, what is he going to do on his staff? Because is he going to raid somebody from the Cowboys? Is that what you're going to do? Are you going to keep Eric Bieniemy as the offensive coordinator? What's going to happen here? So that's the biggest thing for him. He's going to have to fill out that staff.
Next up, former Wright State Raiders star pitcher Joe Smith has officially announced his retirement from Major League Baseball following a beyond successful 15-year Major League Baseball career. Kev, I feel like he has been around the league, obviously 15 years. That's a long time. He was on the Cubs roster, or he was a Chicago Cubs pitcher when they won the World Series back in 2016, but because he was injured, he was not technically on the active roster, so he never pitched or was technically there when they won the World Series. He did get the ring for that, though. He did pitch on the Houston Astros team that lost to the Nationals in the World Series a few years ago. So, but he's honestly a really good postseason pitcher. I think he had like a 2.63 ERA in the postseason, but a very that's a huge accomplishment, what he was able to do in the league for 15 years. I wanted the Reds to sign him late, but the Reds were in a rebuilding mode, so they weren't going after veteran pitchers. But yes, after a 15-year Major League Baseball career, he's officially called it a career. But yes, one of the most successful athletes to come out of Wright State, no doubt.
It's awesome. When you think about it, might be the most. 15 years in the majors. We got a lot of obviously basketball players that have played professional basketball, overseas and stuff like that. That's still professional, but like playing in the major leagues is a huge accomplishment, and it's the hardest sport to play. So salute.
And so I think Sean Murphy might go down as the Raiders' all-time greatest professional athlete when his career is done, just because the way he just jumped into the scene of Major League Baseball, one of the best, if not the best catcher in baseball right now, getting that record contract, of course, with the Atlanta Braves. So kudos to Joe Smith. That's pretty cool. Congratulations to him on a great career.
Does he have anything named after him at the school?
I do not know. I should know that, and I do not know if that's, but he is, he comes back. Every offseason, I hear all the time about, especially his Wright State, which their college baseball is about to start, which is just wild. But for years, as he was preparing for he would work out with the team during their preparation for their season, and that would just be an opportunity for him to throw and work out with the team in preparation for his upcoming season. So, who his wife is, right?
No.
Allie LaForce. The force be with you, my dude.
We salute you in more than one way, buddy. I wonder if we could ever get him on the show, and if we do, I'm going to ask him, did he ever kick it at Cimarron? How are those Cimarron parties? Because he's going to be like, wait, what?
Hold
on, some pictures?
Yeah, your playing days are done, dude. You're fine. You're fine. Dayton Flyers news. Dayton Flyers star player Deron Holmes II has officially been named to the Karl Malone Award Top 10 list for the second straight season. Obviously, one of the best players in college basketball. This isn't the only award list he's been named to. Of course, by the way, that Karl Malone list, it goes to the top power forward in college basketball. Holmes was also named to the Wooden Award late season watch list, which is a 20-man listing of the top candidates for National Player of the Year. Of course, just a few years removed from Dayton's last National Player of the Year. I think you've heard of him. Mr. Obi Toppin. So.
Yeah, this is awesome. And I love the late season addition to this, because we always have like the hot shot freshman, the 5-star guy that's going to be a one and done at Kentucky or Duke, always named to these teams because, hey, man, we know the trajectory of your career. But then the games play out, and there's other guys that start balling that need recognition too. So him getting recognized, and like, let's be real, man. Wow, he came back to school when he could have been drafted, maybe, late first round, probably second round pick. He's upped his draft stock, and most importantly, they're winning games.
Yeah, because he had a late first round draft stock at the midway point of last season, and then as the season went on, it just kept fading, and then it was a second round, and that's why he had a tough decision to make. And Flyer fans ripped me because I said when they lost a ton of players to the portal. When they lost Sherjamps, and when they lost all those guys to the portal, I'm like, those were all the guys that made that team a preseason top 25 team last year. And then everyone that they added, like Santos and others, They were getting limited minutes. Their stats were horrible at their previous team, but this is why AG and his staff have done a good job. If they see the talent, while I'm sitting here box score watching, they're actually out there scouting and they, see these guys come in. But I was like, I thought it was a horrible decision to come back to Dayton. I said, you couldn't be successful with those guys that made you a top 25 team, preseason team last season. It was a big gamble to come back. But he gambled on himself. He gambled on the program, and it's paid off. He's going to be drafted. I haven't seen what his stock looks like as of right now, but he continues dropping these double-doubles and these big 20-point performances. He's added the three-point shot to his repertoire. He's not a good enough three-point shooter to be living out there, though, and we saw what happened when he finally got his ass on the block the other night and started dominating a little bit, but that's why they lost, in my opinion, to Richmond over the weekend. He was just getting three happy, and he wasn't even making them, so I have no clue what that was.
It was
about.
like, what, 2 and 9?
Oh, yeah, it was not good.
We don't need 9 of you, baby. We need maybe like 3.
Yeah.
Stay with 3.
And if you're hot, then keep going.
Oh, yeah. If you're making them, keep shooting them. But
remember,
9 is a lot.
There was the rumblings of him going to of Duke.
Yeah.
There was actual, those weren't just message board rumblings. There were actually Jeff Goodman and others were coming out saying that there's rumblings of Duke potentially interested in acquiring him to help put him over the top to get him drafted, high enough to where he wants to be. So we'll see. Again, that's why I was annoyed with the Richmond loss. I said, hey, for one, I really like Deron Holmes, but I said, what is, you come back to Dayton, you're living out on that 3-point line and that loss to Richmond. Is your goal to help this team win and win at a high level? Or is your goal just to work on the 3 to get to the NBA? Because it can't be that. It can't be both. And to be fair, he hasn't done that really much. That was the first game I've seen that. So, but the 3 ball, it's good. It's not good enough right now, but we'll see. He has plenty of time to continue adding to that. So it's the Kinner and Kev Show here on 1410 ESPN Radio. Troy says, I wonder how much NIL money Holmes is getting. I am really curious what the NIL situation at Dayton looks like. I mean, I know he has that partnership with Lee's, and I'm not privy to know what the financial situation is in that, but he has a great partnership with Lee's. We have a great partnership with Lee's. So it's just kind of one of those things. But, I mean, he's getting some. I just don't know how much, and I'm sure he could have got more elsewhere too. So that's significant as well. All right, it's the Kinner and Kev Show here on 1410 ESPN Radio. Just opening up with some top headlines before we get into the nitty-gritty of the show, of course. Just a reminder, Wright State back in action tonight on ESPNU. Wright State welcomes in the Youngstown State Penguins. It's a 9 p.m. tip-off at the Nutter Center. A win for the Raiders would put them within a game of the top spot in the Horizon League. We'll have the call right here on Dayton's radio home for Wright State basketball, 1410 ESPN Radio and 101.5 Hank FM. Pre-game coverage tips off at 8:45. A big one for Wright State on ESPNU.
If somebody wanted some tickets, what should they do?
Text 518 or text Raiders to 518-1410. I believe we've got the tickets to everyone that won the tickets last week. Some people had messaged back saying, "Hold up, I didn't realize it was 9:00." All that. So if you want to go to the game, text Raiders. If you win the tickets, text me back if you want 2 or 4, and if you win, we'll get you those tickets. Plenty of time to get home after work. Take a nap, get out to the Nutter for a late one here tonight on a Thursday.
So I told the wife that I was like, "Hey, Wright State plays on ESPN tonight." I told her that this morning. She's like, "Oh, we're going." I was like, "It starts at 9:00," and she just berated me like, "You act like an old man. Like at 9:00. I mean, it's Dayton. I mean, we don't live 45 minutes away from the Nutter Center. Everything in this city is like 15 minutes away. So basically." Send me some tickets because she wants to go.
Oh, so you need the tickets?
I need a pair of tickets.
Tickets are yours. Nope, they're not yours. You got to text Raiders to 518-1410. How about that? All right, last one as we head into the next portion of the show. Former Buckeyes defensive coordinator, co-defensive coordinator from back in 2019, Jeff Hafley, again, the head coach at Boston College, was because he left Boston College, announced it yesterday that he is now going to be the new defensive coordinator for the Green Bay Packers. The reason this is significant is the explanation as to why he's giving up a head coaching gig to go be a coordinator in the NFL. And the most important thing is money. He's taking a significant pay cut. He is choosing to lose millions. And the reason is college football. Does college football have a problem? Let's discuss that when we come back. This got a lot of attention last night. Some people are believing that all the critics are just overreacting, and while others are saying, no, this is a sign of things to come for bigger programs and bigger names out there. We'll talk about that when we come back. It's the Kinner and Kev Show, 1410 ESPN Radio.
ESPN 1410 Wing AM weather.
The forecast is calling for mostly cloudy skies and 36 tonight, decreasing clouds, 44 tomorrow. Saturday, sunny and 49. I'm Rick Shrimp for 1410 ESPN Radio.
Attorney Joe Cordell.
Business owners and professionals face special challenges in divorce court. In addition to everything else going on, they have to contend with allegations that they are earning more than they are, coupled with claims on their business or practice itself. Clients with assets depend on their divorce lawyer's skills in these matters, and that's why it's so important to hire someone that has those skills.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Dayton area attorneys. 2689 Commons Boulevard, Suite 100, Beaver Creek, Ohio, 45431.
There's something magical about unboxing. When you unbox BritBox, you uncover a world of British entertainment. Stream the UK's most brilliant series, including new and upcoming seasons of Shetland, Father Brown, and Death in Paradise. Plus new originals like Payback, Irving Welsh's Crime, and Archie, the story of Hollywood's greatest leading man, Cary Grant. Unbox BritBox and escape to the best of British TV. Stream with a free trial at BritBox.com.
Nothing slows my little girl down, except a stuffy nose.
Mommy.
That's why I use Sinex Children's Saline from Vicks. Sinex instantly clears mucus in everyday stuffy little noses with a gentle, ultra-fine mist designed for kids. Just Sinex? Breathe. Her stuffy nose is gone for now. And so is she.
Sinex Children's Saline. Sinex, breathe. Use as directed. Keep out of reach of children.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Go to hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, and the process is 100% online. To start your free online visit, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/JOY.
Hi, I'm Henry Winkler. My eyes are very important to me. My eyes connect me with things I love. I loved my late father-in-law dearly. He always lit up a room, but his vision dimmed with age. He had age-related macular degeneration, or AMD. And since partnering with Apellis, I've learned there's an advanced form of the disease called geographic atrophy, or GA. His struggle with vision loss made me want to help others know about GA's warning signs. For some, straight lines seem wavy, like when looking at a door frame. For others, blurry or missing spots can make it hard to read or see loved ones' faces. Many have trouble seeing in low light, making driving at night difficult. GA gets worse over time and cannot be reversed. If you've been diagnosed with AMD and notice vision changes, don't wait. Talk to your eye doctor about GA today. Learn more at GAWon'tWait.com. That's GAWon'tWait.com.
And now, Public Education Matters with Ohio Education Association President Scott Demaro.
Social media can be a powerful tool in our students' lives. And when families understand, monitor, and guide their teens, our young people can use it to build positive connections while being shielded from some of the potential negative impacts. Go to the Ohio Statewide Family Engagement Center's website for helpful resources for caregivers and educators alike.
Public Education Matters, brought to you by the Ohio Education Association.
Hungry for a great time? Maybe some great food? Then come on down to your neighborhood Submarine House. Try our oven-toasted deli subs, our mouth-watering salads, pizzas, appetizers, and more. And wash them down with a unique selection of craft beers while watching the big game on our big screens. With locations around Dayton, in Columbus, and our newest sports bar in Kettering, you're never far from a Submarine House. Subs, sports, spirits, Submarine House.
Cordell Transportation has more advantages than ever before, including brand new equipment. That's right, plus excellent pay, benefits, and a $5,000 sign-on bonus. Apply now at CordellTransportation.com. Cordell Transportation, driven to succeed.
The Flower Man here with our annual Valentine's Day tradition, a dozen roses for $12.99. That's incredible. A dozen roses, only $12.99. So beautiful. I'm starting to tear up. A dozen roses for Valentine's, only $12.99. Go to flowermanflowers.com. That's flowermanflowers.com.
Drivers who switch and save with Progressive save nearly $750 on average. Call or click today and find out if they could save you hundreds on your car insurance.
All right, everybody, we welcome you back. It's Kinner Kev Show, Dayton's ESPN Radio, 1410 Wing AM. All right, so this was news that kind of caught a lot of people by surprise a little bit last evening. The Green Bay Packers have hired a new defensive coordinator. That's super. Every team needs a defensive coordinator, so that's not the surprise. It's not that they hired a defensive coordinator. It's who they hired. The Green Bay Packers have hired Boston College head coach Jeff Hafley as their new defensive coordinator. The team announced on Wednesday. Jeff Hafley, of course, the head coach at Boston College, was the co-defensive coordinator for the Buckeyes back in 2019. Hafley went 22-26 in 4 seasons at Boston College, Kev, bringing the Eagles to bowl eligibility in 3 of his 4 years. I didn't realize he was there that long.
Yeah.
I feel like he just got there. But obviously the last couple seasons, especially coming out of COVID, everything kind of blended in to one another. But Hafley apparently has resisted prior NFL coaching opportunities in the past, but his reasons for taking this coordinator job are rooted in both the overall state of college football and the opportunity to work for one of the NFL's most respected franchises. There are reports that have been coming in throughout the day, of course, just listening to ESPN Radio throughout the day, that basically NIL, that, you know, he's supposed to be the head coach of Boston College, but with all of the campaigning and all of the fundraising and all of the chasing players around in the portal, on your roster and the high school recruiting and everything else, he said there's no time to coach. I'm paid to be a coach, but there's no coaching going on. It's just all this running around. That's one of the motivating factors that led to him bolting for the NFL. He also has taken a 50% pay cut to bolt for the NFL to be their defensive coordinator over there.
Wow. That's a lot of money. My whole takeaway from it is it's all about the NIL thing, because for a coach at Boston College to compete with even a Florida State, to compete with a Clemson, minus that, you're already at a disadvantage. So now you're throwing money at the situation. Those schools have more money than Boston College, where they're more invested in winning at football more than you are. So you're already going to be further at a deficit. And then, oh, wait, I still gotta recruit the guys that are already recruited to come on my team. I mean, I remember last year or 2 years ago, Zay Flowers going into his senior year, some of the reports that he was getting offers from, you know, SEC schools, Pac-12 schools, Big Ten schools to transfer from Boston College to their school. And he was like, no, I'm staying at Boston College. So when you do get a gem like a Zay Flowers, he's going to get plucked because they have more to offer than you, not only monetarily wise, but winning on the field wise and, you know, marquee games so they can show their talents. Yeah, I mean, it's a difficult situation because, I mean, initially, like when he got into coaching, it wasn't like this. And when he got that head coaching job, it wasn't like this. So like he didn't sign up for this. He didn't sign up for this. He signed up for the normal type of stuff. Like, all right, man, I got to, you know what I'm saying, make sure college guys are not doing too much partying. I got to coach the guys. I got to recruit the guys. He didn't sign up to recruit his own guys over and over and all that type of stuff. So I totally understand where he's coming from. But this is an NCAA problem. This isn't a student athlete problem. This isn't a school problem. This is an NCAA problem, because we can complain about name, image, and likeness till we're blue in the face. The NCAA is not paying the student athletes. If the NCAA was paying the student athletes, then we could have a discussion about like, all right, how much student athletes are going to get paid. But now that it's the Wild Wild West and there are no rules, this is going to continue to happen. And another point to that is I saw this coming maybe last year when I started seeing all the head coaches at like a MAC or Conference USA school leaving a head coaching job to be coordinators at a Power 5 school, because they know, like, well, shoot, why would I stay here? I coach up my guys, and then boom, next year they're going to get plucked. I'm not going to be able to continue to build on these things. So you mean you're going to pay me more money to go be an offensive coordinator at, I don't know, Ole Miss than I am to be the head coach at Buffalo. So yeah, I don't knock these coaches for this situation. It's just another thing in college sports.
So I've come around on this a bit. I see why people are saying people are overreacting. This is a problem. This is a problem. This is a problem. It's not a problem. Look at the record TV deal. Look at all the money that's coming in. Look at all the people who are watching the product. They only the 14 playoff. There was nothing wrong with it. I know you didn't like how Florida State kind of got jobbed a bit. However, that's the reason that's not a problem to me is because that's what they wanted. Not wanted to attack Florida State, but they wanted chaos. That's why with 5 Power 5 conferences, they only had 4 slots, right?
Mm-hmm.
But the viewership and the money got so big that it could only get bigger if we just had more games and more teams. They didn't do this because, well, we feel bad that we screwed Florida State over. So you know what? To make this more fair, we're going to add more teams. No. It's not about fair. It's about more money. So my point is I don't think this is a problem, because if you don't want to coach in today's college football, then get out of the way, because someone else will. There's enough money there. The players aren't going anywhere. I mean, they are, but they're not. So that's my point. I was freaking out about this with college basketball. I hated watching Roy Williams and Coach K and the Legends leave. I hated that. I still do to this day. But you're getting younger coaches in there who understand the landscape of today's athletics. And that's what's going to happen in college football. I hate that Urban Meyer's not coaching anymore. I hate that Nick Saban I literally, as much as I couldn't stand Alabama because I'm an Ohio State fan, I hate that there's no Nick Saban in college football anymore. Harbaugh, can't stand the dude, but he's great for college football. I hate that he's in the NFL. I hate that he left Michigan. So Ryan Day, doing a great job, kind of dull. Look at the guy that took over from Michigan. Hope he does okay. Sharon Moore, kind of dull. All right. These guys aren't the characters that but these are younger coaches that are more in, like, they just have they're more hands-on in today's. So this sport will be fine. It's just going to get rid of the coaches that don't want to do this. And there's plenty of coaches that will step in and be able to do it, who are younger and fresher and will have the energy to chase this stuff around. They definitely need some regulation on this NIL and all this other stuff, obviously. But that's why when people say Ryan Day needs to be careful, Vrabel's kind of hovering out there. If a team wanted Vrabel, he'd be an NFL coach right now. And he's not hanging. I heard today, man, Ryan Day needs to be careful with Vrabel out there. Vrabel, you think he wants this mess?
Exactly.
He doesn't want this mess.
I know Fitz brought it up yesterday. I know we were limited on time.
That's
but
what I heard.
I was just like, dude, there's no way that he comes to the college game. This college game is a headache. It's a headache. It's a headache for us as fans, because we don't know who's going to be on our roster from year to year. It's a headache for the coaches. I mean, think about it like this. This is very... The NCAA is very pimp-esque with this. Like, they have somebody else paying the players. They're not paying them. The schools aren't paying them. They're not giving them a cut of their money. Somebody else is paying them. They're outsourcing the paychecks. And they wonder why people are running all around all crazy. I will say, you said this, I don't know, maybe probably like 2 years ago. And about teams getting kicked out of conferences. That's going to happen. That 100% is going to happen. There's going to be a day where, hey, man, sorry, Rutgers. Sorry, Boston College. Sorry, Northwestern. You're not at the cool kids table. It's just going to be like that. If you're not in it to win it, you're going to be kicked to the side. I mean, look at the Pac-12. Look at Washington State. They're just out there in no man's land.
Around.
Just like, hey, anybody want us? Anybody want to play football with us? No, we don't. So, yeah, those teams that aren't in it to win it or can't win it, you're going to be kicked to the curb. So that's going to be another transition for college football for sure. So like we talk about the Power 5 and Power 2, Power 2.5.
That's what I kept. Yeah. So with all the talk of, when Texas and Oklahoma shocked the world, because those were the first 2 teams that made a bolt that really surprised everyone. Because when you thought of the Big 12, Texas, Oklahoma. They were the face of the Big 12. Like the thought that they were leaving is just wild. And then the fact that they're going to the SEC was even more wild. And then it became a chess match of, okay, well, you took them. Well, now the Ohio State, same thing. The Big Ten steps up and they go get USC and UCLA. And then they get Oregon and Washington. And then, there's still a lot of moving parts. And I kept saying, okay, we're watching a lot of these additions, but at the same time, I'm waiting for when we get to the point where they just start cutting out the dead weight, cutting off the fat. You used to need Rutgers for the New York market, but with all that money coming in, you think the TV networks are going to be like, no, please keep Rutgers.
Right.
If you get rid of Rutgers, we don't feel obligated to have to put Rutgers on our network this upcoming season. So that's the thing. I think that's some point. I was like, there's going to be a point where that's going to be the case. The other problem is, when does college basketball get impacted? Because right now it's a slow burn, but eventually it's going to be fast of cutting ties with sports as well. Because the only reason that you have, Title IX and some of the, if the NCAA is not a thing, do these schools really need to carry all these deadweight sports that are actually costing them? I saw Ole Miss, their women's basketball team, cost that they had a $8.9 million deficit or something. Like a women's basketball team cost, like you lost $8 million. That's a humongous number. You lost. It's not just that it cost you that much. It's that you lost that much. That is wild to me. That is insane to me. So like, that's what I mean. I'm not here, get rid of women's sports. Not what I'm saying, but we're going to get to a point where, hey, the only reason we have to carry these sports is because we have to be D1. Well, when they start making their own rules, they don't have to carry all these rowing and all these extra things just to remain head above water. So I'm fascinated by what's coming. I think that will be the problem when we get to that point. I don't think this is a problem. Halfley didn't want to deal with that stuff. Cool. Get out of the way. Someone will come in who will deal with it, and the train will just keep moving. So
yeah, I still think it's going to be a problem eventually. Like, this is like another domino in that direction, but another domino in that direction. And when things are going to start to get real, and you're going to see like the gloves coming off, and you're going to see, a lot of feelings getting hurt, it isn't going to be the TV networks that turn on, the Rutgers or, the Vanderbilts or anything like that. It's going to be the institutions inside the conference. They're going to just realize one day, like, wait a minute, hold on. Ohio State and Penn State and Michigan and USC, they're all going to be at a little meeting of the cool kids, because everybody's a cool kid, but there's cliques inside the clique. They're going to have a discussion and like, hey, man, if we get rid of them, and them, we make more money. And then they're going to be some secret votes to kick teams out. It's going to have to happen from the inside.
I was a cool kid.
So like, that's how it's going to work. It's going to happen on the inside. They're going to start kicking teams out by voting teams out from the inside, because they'll be able to collect more money that way. So they'll be on the outside looking in. And I think the best part about women's NIL is they're getting the money the way, quote unquote, it was supposed to be structured. Hey, you come here, you ball out, you get a deal with so-and-so, you get a deal with this team, you get a deal with that. It's not especially in football, a little bit in basketball. I know certain people that are charging to go on recruiting visits. Like, they want $5,000 to come in for an official visit. Like, wait, we got to pay you for a visit? Not only that, we got to pay you to even play here. So like, that's how the domino gets to rolling, man. So it's a difficult situation, man. I'm not sure how they can regulate it. I'm not sure what they can do. I know that Tennessee and the Commonwealth of Virginia are suing the NCAA for NIL and how it's being regulated. But it's a lot of strange things going on.
It's the Kinner and Kev Show here on 1410 ESPN Radio. Yeah, about women's sports. The fact that Caitlin Clark is the biggest name in college athletics right now, and she plays at Iowa. If this was the men's side, she'd be at Duke. She'd be at, like, they would have plucked her somehow, some way. The money would have been big enough to pull her elsewhere. And it probably was to some extent too. I read today that some of the, they're talking about how these Iowa women's basketball tickets, the price of them, how it got to this point. A lot of women's basketball programs were doing, to get the lower bowl seats, you had to buy season tickets. So people were going out and just looking at Iowa's road schedule and buying season tickets, because it's cheap to buy women's basketball season tickets. It's not a knock. It's just the reality of it. So they would look at the schedule for Caitlin Clark and go buy season tickets for and then make up all the money back and then make a profit by selling those tickets. Some are getting $1,000 for these tickets.
Yeah.
It's insane.
The lowest ticket, what was it last night when they played Northwestern?
That's what I just read. Yeah,
it was like what, $300-$400
for the up high seats.
Yeah, for the nosebleeders.
Kinner and Kev Show here on 1410 ESPN Radio. It's February. We got Reds baseball this month. Spring training.
Wow.
We've carried the Reds for quite some time, and I tell you what. As much as I love Tommy Throw, I still miss the voice of Marty Brennaman from time to time. We're going to hear Marty's voice on the other side. Marty Brennaman was known during his time as just a guy who would tell it like it is. And he led Major League Baseball during his time with the Reds of hot takes. He was a sports talk radio host as a play-by-play announcer, right? Like there was no one else like him. He is known for his hot takes. Even though he's retired, he might have had his hottest take of all time today. Marty Brennaman weighs in on all of you who are criticizing the biggest pop star in the world. It's weird hearing Marty Brennaman be this passionate about this particular topic, about this particular superstar. We have that for you when we come back. You don't want to miss this. Marty is the man. We'll be right back. It's the Kinner and Kev Show, 1410 ESPN Radio.
Progressive asks, what do a late-night pizza craving,
Pizza place. Can I get one large pepperoni pizza?
a newly licensed teen delivery driver, a guaranteed delivery time or its free offer, and your front fence have in common?
Uh-oh.
That's my fence.
They can turn your stomach upside down in under 30 minutes.
I'm still getting a tip, right?
Bundle your home and auto with Progressive for great savings and round-the-clock protection.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Go to hims.com/joy. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, and the process is 100% online. To start your free online visit, go to hims.com/joy. That's HIMS.com/JOY.
Have you heard? Bath Creations has moved to their new location and showroom at 8741 North Kimmel Road in Clayton. This gives you even more opportunity to see the incredible amenities and craftsmanship Bath Creation offers. With Bath Creations, you get a beautiful, modern bathroom that is safe, comfortable, and affordable. Attention first responders, veterans, and active military. Save an additional $500 off your purchase. Visit at 8741 North Kimmel Road in Clayton or online at mybathcreations.com and get a new bath today.
Everybody knows that Roosters is a fun, casual joint with their award-winning waitstaff, great food, fun, and laughter. It's a quick stop on the way home to sit back and unwind. It's a front row seat to the big game. Roosters is where you, your family, and friends can order pizza, sandwiches, salads, and more. And the home of award-winning wings that are fresh, never frozen, and so big you won't believe it. It's your family's other dinner table. Roosters, a fun, casual joint, and proud sponsor of Ohio State Athletics.
Progressive asks, what do an escaped leopard,
We're live from the zoo where a leopard has escaped.
a growling stomach, an uneaten tuna sandwich, and a backdoor doggy door have in common? They can lead to an unexpected kitchen renovation.
Yeah, hi. Is this the zoo? Your leopard is in my kitchen.
Bundle your home and auto with Progressive for great savings and round-the-clock protection.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states or situations.
Get the appliances you need right away at Lowe's. Explore the largest assortment of brands you trust, like Whirlpool, Samsung, and LG, in-store or online at the best values. Plus, take advantage of our everyday financing offers on top items, from refrigerators to laundry pairs. And there's more. Get your new appliances delivered or installed quickly at your convenience. Because Lowe's knows appliances. Lowe's knows home improvement. Subject to credit approval.
Jackson Hewitt offers you your biggest refund, guaranteed, or your money back, plus $100. Hurry into Jackson Hewitt today.
Text Raiders to 518-1410, 518-1410 for your chance to win tickets to Wright State, Youngstown State tonight at the Nutter Center, 9 o'clock the tip-off. It's an ESPNU game. If Wright State wins, they'll be within a game of the top spot in the Horizon League. 7 of their first 11 games in conference play have been on the road. So the fact that they've been able to, the fact that they're even within striking distance, actually they're within a game right now. I'm saying that totally incorrectly. They'll be at the top, tied at the top if they get this one tonight. So, the fact that they're even within that spot, considering the fact that they've been on the road pretty much, and trust me, I know, a lot of travel time. I get a lot of work done, though. It is cool traveling with the team and just kind of seeing how coaches and players operate behind the scenes a little bit. So, but yeah, so they have a lot of home games coming up and a lot of chances to support them at home coming up. And we have opportunities to give out tickets over the next couple of weeks. So keep that in mind. Text Raiders to 518-1410. Okay. So Vegas put out the win totals for the Reds this upcoming season. They went 82. They won 82 games last season, Kev.
Okay.
And I remember they were supposed to, lose 100 games. They were supposed to be a 100-loss team, supposed to be a horrendous season, and they go on to win 82 games. So 82-80 was their record. And they won 82 games, and they didn't even have their core cast of young stars until about June. So they went all of April and all of May with just kind of a horrific roster before they finally called up the likes of Matt McClain to pair him up with Steer, obviously. And then, of course, you get your Ellie De La Cruz and you get all the guys that you called up in the pitching, in the rotation and everything. And they won 82 games last year. What do you think Vegas has their win total at this upcoming season?
95.
Good for you. But man, 82.5.
What?
I know. Now, I think a lot of it
I say that, but they always know.
So, remember, Vegas had them, I think, at like 67. They had them at like 67 was the win total last year.
They won 82 last year.
They won 82 last year.
That's not like a huge jump. 95 isn't a huge jump. Or it is, but
there's
90.
So, technically 82 wins is the win total is technically significantly higher than what they had their win total at last year.
Right.
So there's that. But they won 82 last year. Every piece that led them to 82 wins is back, and they added depth to the rotation. So, look, and this is why a lot of Reds fans, and this is why me included, heading into the offseason about how aggressive the Reds should be in the offseason. You got to be careful, because if you're going to be aggressive going after certain players, I about said in the portal, same thing in free agency, you're going to go after those players in free agency based on what you think your needs are, but that's because you're just assuming that Matt McClain and Spencer Steer and Christian Encarnacion Strand and Ellie De La Cruz and Williamson, you're just assuming that every single one of these cats is going to take 2-3 steps forward.
Right.
The likelihood of every rookie from last year that was fantastic having an even better season or even the equivalent to last year, I'm not trying to be negative, but that's a slim chance.
Right.
There's a good chance Ellie De La Cruz, who was not good the last month of the season, like he was such a hot player in the month of June, Kev, and even July, that we forget August and September, he was not good. He was a walking strikeout. He was not good, at least with the bat in his hand. Exciting player. When he would make contact, my God, it just sounds different coming off his bat. He's a different cat, obviously, and he's going to be really, really good and will probably be really, really good this upcoming season. But I do think Vegas, there's a little concern about, again, it's a bunch of second-year players leading the way.
Right.
So that's the mindset, too. The Cubs got better. All right. The Cardinals got better. I think that has a lot to do with it as well. But I thought that was low. I'm taking the over. I don't know. I don't know if they get to 95.
Open up my app right now.
I don't know if they get to 95. I don't know if they'll get to 95 wins. They won 82 last year. I'm willing to say in that 86, 87 range, but that's not my final take on that because we still have a lot of spring training and everything else to get to.
True.
So, but for right now, just seeing that number come out, that caught me by surprise. You know what I mean?
I was blown away. I'm trying to find MLB on my app right now because if that's the number, I'm definitely hitting the over on that.
So, Keith Bond, what up, Keith? He goes, you could say that, but they added a middle relief guy to go into the rotation. I don't know what the White Sox wanted, but Dylan Cease would have been a huge upgrade. Keith, the thing is with the Reds, the reason that I like what they did in that particular situation when I usually don't is because I'm with you. Normally I want a legit starting pitcher. I'm tired of these in-between guys, a guy that could play third, a guy that could play second, because if you have a guy that could play a bunch of positions, he's not playing any of those positions at an elite level.
Mhm.
Would you rather have a guy that could play good at, he's good at third base, he's good at shortstop, and he's good in left field, but he's not elite at anything? Do you want that? Or do you want a guy that is such an elite third baseman, but he can't play short, he can't play in the left field, but he's an elite third baseman? That's where the game is shifting a bit, and not shifting a bit. It has shifted significantly, which is allowed to have so many different, lineups and rotations, and that drives fans nuts because back in the day, legendary first baseman, legendary second baseman, legendary center fielder. Now you wear a lot of hats. So it's kind of the same approach as we sit here right now when it comes to this rotation. You have guys like Martinez and others who could be a legitimate starter, or they could be a legitimate bullpen arm. So there's that being versatile when it comes to that, especially when you account for injuries and everything else along those lines. That's where I'm with you. I would have liked Cease, but I also don't mind some of the guys that they added. Obviously, you're going to have Hunter Green, Nick Lodolo, Andrew Abbott, obviously, and I was a big fan of what we saw last year from Andrew Abbott. I mean, that was huge. So adding what they did, I'm fine with that. But again, it's just they think they know what they have, but they don't know what they have.
Right.
And that's what those moves to me signify is these guys allow them to, okay, if Lodolo's not the real deal, now they have a guy that they could use in the rotation if Lodolo's not who they hope he is, or if Lodolo is the real deal and they have depth in the rotation, now they can move Martinez to the pen. That's the type of, versatileness. Is that a word? Hold on. Hold on. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Versatility?
Hold on. What am I trying to say?
Versatility.
Yeah, but like ness. Isn't there a ness at the end?
No.
Help me out. What am I trying to say? Help me out in the chat. Kinner's having a moment. Help him out.
No, just versatility.
Yeah, we'll go with that. Anyways. Oof. That was like watching my mouth fall down a flight of stairs.
Yeah.
You think it's done, and then nope. Keeps bouncing down a little bit more. But I think we're all on the same page, kind of. So that's just versatile. Bond says he gets me 100%. Thank you. That's all I needed. That's all I needed. David on YouTube. What up, David?
What up, Dave?
He says 85-90 wins in division winners, or they failed for the season. Ooh.
Wait, what? Read that one more time.
85-90 wins in division winners, or they have failed for the season. Zero excuses allowed when they somehow got to 82 with a patchwork rotation all season. This is my concern about, sometimes you just look at 82 wins, like how you get there matters. How you get there matters. And I get what people are saying. It's kind of what I said a little bit ago. They got to 82 wins without their main core that led to the success late in the season for the first 2 months of the season. So I get what he's trying to say. I also can't overreact to that because I basically have said coming in that I'm going to use, the Reds, when we talked to Nick Crawl, the Reds general manager at that Reds Fest, I said specifically, your expectations for this upcoming season, what are they? And whatever they said to me is what I'm going to hold the standard to. And we were told to win the division. So if they don't win the division, that means you did not live up to your expectations, which means technically you failed. So it's an aggressive take by David, but he's not wrong because it's kind of what I'm doing too. I'm going to hold him to that winning the division standard. But again, a lot of that.
You got to put a caveat on the wins too, though.
But the thing is, too, that's a lot of pressure for a team that has second-year players. That's not an excuse. But the Reds were such a great story last year because of so many rookies leading the way. That just doesn't happen. That never happens.
Right.
So we can't just assume that just because it happened last year that they'll have the second-year jump. Some players take a second-year bounce back. So who knows? That's going to be interesting to follow as far as that goes. Scott Campbell on YouTube. The possible, and here we go. This is a good point. The possible sophomore slump is probably why they are keeping India for now and signed Candelario to have veteran protection in the lineup along with Stevenson. Thank you, Scott.
Fair.
Very good point. That's what I meant by some of these moves signify that, okay, if the rookie players take a step forward, then the veteran depth that they added is going to enhance this team, and then they're going to be in that 90-95 win range. If some of these players take that sophomore slump and take that step backwards, then these veteran players are going to be good enough to kind of maybe make up for some of the deficiencies if that's the case. And I think that's kind of, so it's a good mix between what we just read from Scott and from David. And I think there's going to be a huge variety in there all season.
So last year, Milwaukee won the Central with 92 wins. And to Vegas's credit, we look at the Cincinnati Reds because we followed them. We look how good of a season they had last year and they weren't expected. Know who else had a decent season that was supposed to be a train wreck? Pirates. The Pirates also had a kind of bounce back year. They won like 70+ games, a team that everybody they're going to be terrible. Nobody's thinking about them. Yeah, they had a below 500 record, but like, hey, man, like that's something to be happy about considering where they were. So thinking about this, peeling the onion back a little bit, looking at and remembering how last season played out, like 80-something, 82 wins isn't that far off. I think they might be right. Yeah, as I think about it, like to just kind of just remember what happened last year. Like, hey, man, you just didn't go and beat the Pirates every single time you played them. Like,
they lost on opening day.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, yeah, okay, it makes sense.
Keith brings up a good point, too. The Pirates went and got Chapman.
Oh, yeah,
who I wanted the Reds to get. But they do. Technically, I mean, Chapman wouldn't have been using the traditional closing route because the Reds have the best closer in baseball, or at least top 2 in baseball as far as that's concerned. But nonetheless, Ann Anderson, what up, Ann? I knew Ann would love the Reds talk today. She goes, I agree with whatever you're trying to say. Just please give me baseball, lots and lots of baseball. Philip Reed, it's been 29 years. And by the way, these comments I'm reading, the Justin Kinner Show Facebook page. The Facebook page is still the Justin Kinner Show Facebook page because that's what it was when I made the page. And
he ain't changing.
And changing it makes you add a bunch of stuff, and then you have to like wait for them to approve it. And I don't really feel like dealing with all that. And I'm selfish apparently, so I just want my name in it. But it's the Kinner and Kev Show. But look for the Justin Kinner Show Facebook page. It at least has the Kinner and Kev Facebook logo. So branding is not my strong suit. So. All these comments I'm reading, we're live on the Justin Kinner Show Facebook page, live on ESPN Dayton's YouTube channel. You can interact with the show by leaving your opinion in the comment section. We pull it into the show and interact with you that way. Philip Reed said, it has been 29 years since the Reds got out of the first round of the playoffs, so they will only be successful this season if they make it to the second round. Philip, come on. Like, this is why we're not going to enjoy this season.
It's levels to this, man.
Yes.
It's levels. Like last year was a level up. Now, this year level, to me, if I was a Reds fan, I would be satisfied with making the playoffs. And then the following year, like, all right, we're winning the division and making some noise in the playoffs. Like, you got to crawl before you walk, man. Come on now. Like, he won a World Series this upcoming season. It don't work like that.
So, to me, at the very least, I know the general manager, Nick, it was to win the division. And I said if they don't win the division, I would consider that, well, you failed. You didn't live up to expectations. If this team doesn't make the playoffs, that's a failure.
Yes.
If this team doesn't,
I'm with that.
I'm willing to go there. If they don't win the division, but they win the wild, or they get they make the wild card, that's a win. That's successful. That's fine. I'm fine with that. I want them to win the division. I want them to win a playoff series. But they could win a playoff series even in the wild card. So I'm not going to just give up all hope if they don't win the division and say, well, I'm not even watching it with the playoffs because they didn't win the division. But I do think it's kind of a dangerous route to go, saying if they don't get to the second round, because it's been 29 years. Like,
goodness.
I do like the passion and the energy and the cutthroat approach by Reds fans. David says if we were supposed to take the 82 wins last year seriously as the example of what's to come on top of the winter moves, 85 to 90 wins is very fair expectations. And I think 85, that's why I said 86, 87, I think is fair. Get to 90, that's a cherry on top. But
that's fair.
So Vegas knows.
They
All right.
do.
So what does Marty Brennaman think about this upcoming season? Well, we don't know yet. We haven't talked to Marty about this upcoming season. We will talk to Marty soon. But Marty Brennaman is known for his hot takes. He's known for telling it like it is, right? Well, Marty Brennaman was on Chatterbox Sports today with his son, Tom Brennaman. And the topic of Taylor Swift came up.
Swiftie.
And I don't know about you guys, but I have heard Marty and the biggest, go on these major rants before, but about baseball, arguing with Ken Griffey Jr., arguing with the Reds manager, arguing with upper management, arguing with anyone and everyone who will listen, right? To hear Marty Brennaman go on a 2-minute rant about Taylor Swift is just, it was amazing. It was fantastic stuff. And we have it for you. Marty Brennaman earlier today with Tom Brennaman on Chatterbox Sports, the topic of all the criticism and all the people who are tired of hearing about Taylor Swift. Good stuff here from Marty Brennaman. Take a listen. And by the way, if you're one of those people that is tired of hearing about Taylor Swift, well, Marty Brennaman has a message for you.
I think these people that are beating up on that woman and either directly or indirectly beating up on him because they have a relationship that may well result, I said may well result in, I think, an engagement ring is going to be given to her not too distant future. And this whole thing may result in them getting married. I think that's wonderful. I don't have a problem with that. I know these people that have nothing to do but cast hateful aspersions and negative comments about people who may well be in love with one another. I have absolutely no problem with it. And those jerks that beat up on her and beat up on him on all the social media are people that don't have a damn thing to do in life but to hate people. What the hell? They can't have a relationship and become attracted to each other just because they are both famous. Obviously, her fame is international and is unlike any recent young performer that I've ever been made aware of. She's a very talented young woman. She doesn't ask for all of this, like Amanda just said. She doesn't ask for all of this. She doesn't put herself out there and say, "Hey, look at me. I'm Taylor Swift, and my boyfriend and the love of my life is Kelsey." I don't. She can't help it if a network television camera picks her out of a private box at Arrowhead Stadium. She can't help that.
Yeah.
So I don't have a problem with it. I think it's great. I'm happy for him because he was a great player at UC. He's going to go down as one of the greatest tight ends in the history of professional football. I don't have a problem with it. And I think those people that raise hell about it, something's wrong with them.
Something's wrong with him, Kev. I love it. It is so odd hearing Marty Brennaman go on a 2-minute rant, just furious at the jerks who have a problem with all the Taylor Swift coverage throughout this NFL season. Are you a jerk, Kev? I know. Are you a jerk?
A little bit. Not completely. I understand definitely where he's coming from for sure. I mean, it's two people that's in a relationship. She's the biggest superstar in the world. So, I mean, it moves the needle. And that's what these networks are here to do. They're here to move the needle. They're here to get the people what they want. And guess what? As much as we just want to watch the game, people like me that just don't care about all the rigmarole, there's more people out there that want to see the extra element. Think about how much we're going to see in 2 weeks. In 2 weeks, less than 2 weeks, actually. We're going to see on Super Bowl Sunday how the commercials are geared. They're going to be geared towards young women as well. And that's more eyeballs on the sport that I love. So ultimately, it's all good.
I think this has less to do with people hating Taylor Swift because I don't know how you could, I'm not a Swiftie. I'm not out buying her albums. I'm not downloading her music. I'm not going to her concerts because, the tickets, little chump change, for them tickets, right? But she doesn't generate a reaction out of me. So that's why I'm like, I feel like I have a hard time believing that grown men are having a reaction to seeing her face on the screen. I think, maybe not speaking for you, a lot of the hatred around here is because of the hatred for the rival of the Cincinnati Bengals is the Kansas City Chiefs and any type of positive attention that the Chiefs are getting. It's the jealousy. Not really jealousy, like they're jealous that he has her and they don't. It's the jealousy of anytime the team is getting attention and their team is not. Because I promise you this, if the guy that walks on water, Joe Burrow, would have, got her to fall in love with him, oh man, everyone would be Swifties around here. There'd be Swiftie Bengals jerseys out there. So this is jealousy of Travis Kelce. That's all it comes down to. Not you, but I'd say 90% of the people in this region, in this area that have a problem with it, probably it's just because they hate Travis Kelce and they hate the Kansas City Chiefs. That's just kind of, I feel like if this was the Raiders, wouldn't matter. If this was any other team other than the team that's in the midst of a dynasty run, because we talked about it the other day, people hate, they hate greatness. I think this is just the cherry on top of the hate that people have for greatness. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's all of those things. I can't say you're wrong. It's all those things. It's they're winning. They're on. Seems like they're on TV all the time. Patrick Mahomes' wife is out there. His little brother's out there. Now to throw salt in the wound, the biggest superstar in the world is out there with that team. Like, all right, man, I'm sick of them already. Like, I'm done with them. Like, all right, fine, great. His dad is smoking on the Lamar pack now. Like, it's just a lot. It's a lot to deal with. And us as, football fans, we just want to watch the game. I am reading something right now on people.com, a list of her boyfriends. It's quite a list. Shouts out to her. She's living her best life. I respect it.
She might get a ring. He might get another ring.
Bling, bling.
Keep adding to it. It's the Kinner Kev Show, 1410 ESPN Radio.
Whoa! Burrow had my ass! Whoa! It's Mahomes' house! Hey, I got some wise words for that Cincinnati mayor. Know your role and shut your mouth, you jabroni. You gotta fight for your right to party!
If you only have a 401k, you're not getting the most for retirement.
Wait, what?
Add a Robinhood IRA on top, then they'll boost it by 3%.
You can do that?
And if you transfer in any retirement account, you get 3% on top of that.
Is there a limit to the match?
No limit. Robinhood Gold gets you the biggest contribution match of any IRA on the market. Sign up for Robinhood Gold at Robinhood.com/boost by April 30th. Subscription fees apply.
Investing involves risk. 3% match requires gold for 1 year from first match. Must keep IRA for 5 years. Match on transfers subject to additional terms and conditions. Robinhood Financial LLC, member SIPC.
We expect our information in real time. US Med carries continuous glucose monitors, which provide real-time readings of blood glucose levels. US Med is an approved provider for Medicare and over 500 private insurers. So call 888-665-0696 today for a free insurance and Medicare benefits check as easy as that's 888-665-0696.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Whether we're in your home for a new McAfee installation, a scheduled maintenance, or a repair, you can count on McAfee to do what we say we'll do when we say we'll do it. We care about the services we provide and the products we install in your home, tailor-fitting our work to your family's needs through the entire process. We stand behind what we do, and we're proud to put our name on it. Breathe easy, choose McAfee, or have a cow.
Looking for sweet heat that's hard to beat? Head to Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken and try the Hot Honey Chicken Sandwich, here for a limited time. This all-new sandwich features our famous hand-breaded, pressure-cooked chicken breast covered in Mike's Hot Honey on a brioche bun. It's the chicken sandwich made sweeter and spicier. Discover the craveable flavor that can only happen when Mike's Hot Honey meets Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken. Pick up an irresistible Hot Honey Chicken Sandwich today. Only at Lee's, famous for chicken.
Jackson Hewitt offers you your biggest refund, guaranteed, or your money back, plus $100. Hurry into Jackson Hewitt today.
Coming to you live from the Superbook Sports Studios in Kettering. You're listening to Dayton's ESPN Radio, 1410 Wing AM.
Justin Kinner, Kev Nash back with you here on Dayton's ESPN Radio, 1410 Wing AM. Wrestling fans, we have Dayton's only local radio wrestling show coming up later on tonight, 7 o'clock, card subject to change with Benjamin Chimera and Big Kev. Benjamin Chimera from Detroit, but lives here in Dayton, works with us here at Alpha Media Dayton. He's a local professional wrestler. He's worked with the likes of Dean Ambrose or Moxley with the promotion he's with now, Seth Rollins. I mean, the list goes on and on. So we love working with him. A whole hour dedicated to professional wrestling. He wants me to get in the ring so bad. I want to be a manager.
I want you to get in the ring with him. So
I want to be. I don't want to. I mean, I'll get my ass whooped in real life. I'll get my ass whooped in the ring. But I just want to talk. Give me a mic. I'll be Paul Heyman. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Justin Kinner. Just Kinner for short. Listen, and I am short. I want to make that happen. But Benjamin Chimera coming up later on tonight with Big Kev, 7 to 8 o'clock, right here on 1410 ESPN Radio. But he does a great job.
Absolutely.
And it's WrestleMania season and all that.
Oh, yeah. They're going to be talking about the Netflix deal with WWE as well. So Monday, I saw him in the hallway. You know, normally Benjamin's full of energy. Not this week. He's been sluggish.
Why is he sluggish? Oh, yeah. You know, wait a minute. I can't believe I've been so distracted with all my stuff going on this week. I forgot to give him hell. He made our life miserable for an entire month.
Yeah. I'm gonna take the high road. You know, Michelle Obama says when they go low, you go higher. So that's what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do. I didn't rub it in his face, but
what are some good comebacks from him? Hey Ben, I called you the other day, but I called the wrong person. It was a bad call. I guess you could just call me Dan Campbell. I guess. Man. Man, all that cheating at Michigan, just bad decision making. Call him Dan Campbell. I mean, we could do this all day. I call him. Let's call him. Let's call him. Let me shoot him a text real quick. We have some time. Let me see. Let's see. Benjamin, come here. There he is. Hey, we are talking.
Oh, I can't believe you're really doing this. You're texting this man live on the air.
On the air. You bum.
So make sure you call in
Yeah.
and talk to him and Big Kev 518-1410 tonight. Card subject to change. I'm just blown away that you're actually doing that.
What?
That you're actually doing that, man. You know what? I shouldn't be blown away. Like that's on brand.
Wow, he's
finger
messaging
emoji.
back. I see the little.
Middle
I said,
finger
hey, we're
emoji.
talking crap about you on the air, you bum. Stop on over unless you're still crying. You know, good stuff. I mean, not just childish responses by me. I mean, it wasn't even my best stuff right there, to be honest with you. We'll see. We'll see if he makes his way over. He's actually busy, though. He's actually working. Not talking sports and pretending to have a job like we are over here. How about this? We and you have talked about the shot clock before, right?
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if this was a girls' basketball or boys' basketball. It doesn't matter. It's a high school basketball game here. And let me find it. Here it is. So, St. Joe's and Magnificat. The Mags get the ball with around 7 minutes and 30 seconds left in the fourth quarter. All right. They lead 49-34. You want to know what the final score of that game was?
Do tell.
49-34. They just spread it out. Held on to the ball. Yeah, four corners. They just. Hey, look who it is.
I can hear you down the hall.
I'm not talking.
You literally look like Frisch's big boy did jail time.
Whoa.
I best keep my name out your mouth. I'll treat you like Will. I'll treat you like Chris and Jada. How about that?
Keep my name out. No. Let me ask you, what are you crying more about? Michigan? How about Harbaugh? Wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Not even calling you the next day, just bailing on you. Or Dan Campbell. I mean, Harbaugh didn't even call you at all, and then you have Dan Campbell making all the wrong calls.
What's Harbaugh have to prove?
That he
dominated Ohio State.
How about he should prove he can win, without cheating?
His assistant coach beat Ohio State. His assistant coach.
Oh, crybaby, yeah. Crybaby more.
And then
cry some more.
I'm not mad at Dan Campbell. The analytics proved that they've converted on fourth down more than they have it. Should they have taken the field goals of 1-by-3?
No, they should have went for it. Reynolds should have caught both those passes.
You're absolutely right. And I love Josh Reynolds. Great blocker, reliable receiver. Cannot believe that happened.
Hit him in the hands.
I sat Shiva for a whole 48 hours after the game, and I'm fine now. I'm fine emotionally.
I thought the game was Purdy.
Purdy?
Yeah. I thought it was a Purdy outcome.
You remember him getting up with his bloody lip and having hell quivering?
Toughness.
Yeah, he's real tough.
Yeah, if he cried anymore, he'd be Michigan's head coach right now.
Yeah? Does he have headaches there, Justin?
Urban's retired as he's won 3 national championships, 2 different programs. Legend. That's what legends are made of.
Legends hide coaches that.
Well, he ain't hiding. No one just wants him right now.
Right.
Throw their wife through a plate glass window.
Oh, I mean, my gosh, manhandle him like the Niners did with your Lions. That's pretty embarrassing.
Where were the Browns?
I'm a Browns fan, and that's embarrassing. Sitting at home laughing.
Getting a massage.
Why we gotta go there? Why we gotta go there? I mean, like maybe they're a little tense. They played injured all season,
Getting
you know.
a nice little rub down.
Oh, this is very inappropriate.
I
would never.
You got Cooper playing Xbox in the locker room, not even looking at the playbook.
What playbook? Ignore the playbook. Ignore the analytics. Just go for it.
Yeah, he's pulling a full Johnny Manziel.
Oh.
Playbook? No.
All right,
that was too easy.
Well, Benjamin Chimera,
Keep talking, sweetheart.
Benjamin
I'll be down here
Chimera.
permanently.
That's awesome. What time's your show? So I know not to tune in.
Tonight,
Okay.
It's at 7 p.m.
Okay.
You didn't bump me for that Wright State basketball.
Hey! That's the Wright State basketball.
I'm actually on when I'm supposed to be on.
I might extend the pregame show. I might actually extend the pregame
go ahead
show.
and extend it.
Talk about a team that's going to win, unlike the
love
Lions.
The sound of your voice.
The Lions.
So you may as well extend it as long as you want.
I got a question.
Oh, good. Let's just keep them in here longer, Kev.
What's on docket for the show tonight?
What's on docket for the show? You know what? I got to tell you, and I'm actually really excited for it. First day of Black History Month. I don't think African-American wrestlers get the credit they deserve. So Kev and I are devoting the whole month of February to spotlight Black wrestlers and their significance in the business. So this week we're going to talk about our favorite Black wrestlers, kind of what's been in the history of the professional wrestling business with Black wrestlers. On the 22nd, we got an interview with Scarlett, independent wrestler. She's African-American. She's fantastic. We talk about her journey in the business, kind of what she's had to overcome. But we're not going to stray away from the hard topics on this one because we'll never advance the African-American community by not talking about them. So this month, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about the problems, the pitfalls, and what we think will fix it.
It's Rumble, the Royal Rumble,
What's
too.
that? Never heard of it.
WrestleMania season, the Royal
Yeah.
Rumble. Did the winners surprise you? You good? You happy with the winners?
It's boring.
Why was
It's
it boring?
terrible. What was the surprise comeback? Andrade at 4?
Especially Andrade.
The crowd was asleep the entire time. With the Vince McMahon scandal, they needed a knockout show, and they did not deliver one.
I don't think it was that. The crowd kind of stunk. They'd pop for certain entrances, but then they'd sit back down or whatever.
Yeah.
The Monday night, the Raw crowd was better, but it's the same crowd, wasn't it?
It's the same crowd, yeah. And I think that they were kind of confused at the end because CM Punk got injured early into his, earlier in his entry. He tears his tricep on a DDT, and then he just didn't have a good segments with Cody. But I got to tell you, we'll talk about it today. Jade Cargill, that's their next Hulk Hogan. That's their next John Cena. Is
Jade Cargill. You know who her husband is, Kev?
No.
Brandon Phillips.
BP?
BP.
Yep.
Huh.
Go ahead and Google Jade real quick, since you know who that is.
Oh, I know who it is
You know
now.
who Jade is?
Yeah. I know who it is now.
She's a freak athlete.
I got a story for off mic about
Jade or Brandon?
No, BP.
Oh, yeah.
Mike's
Great guy.
Anyways,
met him at Caravan one year. Good dude.
You watch it. I'll be back down here every day.
When
Hugs and
when
kisses,
is
sweetheart.
your next match? I want to be your manager. That way I
You
can
wanna
talk
be
crap
my
to other
manager?
people. Yes,
What, are
I
you
want to
gonna
be the Paul Heyman for
negotiate my
Benjamin
booking?
Chimera.
Okay.
Exactly.
All right. Well,
I can go out there and
we'll
get
be
booed.
announcing it soon. We're working on the building in Fairborn right now. It's going to be like the permanent home of the TV tapings. They signed a deal right now. It's
Really?
not a big deal. Yeah, not a big deal, but it's with Tip City, Allen County Television. It's going to be on the Fox affiliate up there.
Oh.
And we'll be starting production probably in the next month or so.
So I could be Benjamin Chimera's manager.
You could.
Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Justin Kinner. I like it.
Do it. I love it.
I like it.
How much you want? 10%, 25, 30?
I just want you to stop being mean when you come into this game. You be
Keep my name out
respectful.
your mouth.
When you just be
Jada.
respectful. You just
He's
be
gonna be a
respectful.
manager like Miss Elizabeth.
Ladies and gentlemen, Justin Kinner would look great in an evening gown, by the way. Get some heels on you. Yeah. Yeah.
What did you just pull out? It's like
he does look like a young Paul Bearer, but he's
Jesus.
in better shape.
Jesus.
It's the haircut.
The haircut's it's not the fat belly and anything like that.
No,
You
I
know,
said you're in better shape.
Who is the
Round
best
is a
manager
shape.
of all time in your view?
Bobby the Brain Heenan.
Paul Heyman.
Paul Heyman's great, but Bobby Heenan could get anybody over. Anybody he worked with, he got him over, and he was his best, in my opinion, when he was with Haku and Andre the Giant. That's just my opinion, and because they didn't speak English very well, but Bobby would get those stories over. But Paul Heyman's definitely up there.
Jimmy.
And Jimmy Cornette. Yep, you got it.
The best manager is about to be your manager. I'm about to be
Kinner,
the best
I hope
manager
so.
in the history of professional wrestling.
I hope so.
As long as, and you trying to talk me into going through a table or something
I think
stupid.
you'd be fine.
Is Big Kev going to be on getting back in the ring?
Yeah. Look, I begged him for 12 years to wrestle. Like, he's one of those dudes like Sid Vicious or Bobby Lashley where you look at him and you're like, that dude should be a pro wrestler.
Yes.
Right? The voice.
Oh, the voice.
The body, the height. And he just won't do it, man. He just wants to sit in the crowd and yell at people.
And then when they
That's how
go
we met.
when they go to approach him, and then they realize it's not just some boob fan like me, and then he stands up and like, oh, we're good.
I'm about to text Big
We're
Kev
good.
right now.
Yeah, he tried to jump over the rail at me at Rockstar Pro like 10 years ago, and I never back up. I actually backed up because I didn't saw him out of the corner of my eye, and he jumped.
No, he didn't do it. He didn't back up. He didn't back up. I tried.
I saw him out of the corner of my eye, and he jumped up at the rail at me, and I was like, "Whoa, this guy!" By the way, you're welcome for these beers that have sat here for 2 months.
And as I've told you, if we didn't like you, would have thrown them out. They're there out of respect.
Yeah, we'll enjoy them. Enjoy them today.
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, tune in at 7 p.m.
Yes.
tonight to Card Subject to Change. We'll see you then, and hopefully old Justin Kinner doesn't get butt hurt and bump us like usual.
Oh, you know what? In fact, might start carrying other teams. Might start carrying double headers on these nights. Yeah. Yeah. So no, because I can't. You remember partners? We're yeah.
My back hurts from carrying your radio station, Justin. So.
Ooh. Be back for that chair.
I
You know what?
caught it
I might
straight.
be a manager, and then just when Benjamin Kamara is about to win, take that chair and hit that back of yours. Yeah. Benjamin Chimera. Card subject to change. How does he go from sitting in his office alone, not talking to people all day, just coming fired up like that? Usually when you're a little pipsqueak like me talking smack, it usually kind of gets people fired up a little bit. Maybe, just maybe. Anyways, card subject to change tonight. There you go. 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock. All right, we'll step away for a few moments. Got some NFL stuff coming up around the corners. The Kinner Kev Show, Dayton's ESPN Radio, 1410 Wing AM.
ESPN 1410 Wing AM weather.
The forecast is calling for mostly cloudy skies and 36 tonight, decreasing clouds, 44 tomorrow. Saturday, sunny and 49. I'm Rick Schremp for 1410 ESPN Radio.
Do you have an oak tree in your yard? The Ohio Chapter International Society of Arboriculture is committed to advancing responsible tree care practices while preventing a fungal disease called oak wilt. They remind those who own and manage oak trees the best time to prune is November to early March. To find out more, there are over 1,000 qualified tree experts in Ohio. To find an arborist in your area, treesforohio.org. That's trees, the number 4, Ohio.org.
Many Vietnam War veterans were unknowingly exposed to dangerous chemicals impacting their health and quality of life. There are now expanded benefits for veterans exposed to Agent Orange. Veterans with Parkinsonism, bladder cancer, or hypothyroidism who previously applied for VA disability compensation but were denied should reapply and might be eligible for retroactive compensation. Exposed veterans who have not yet applied should consider filing a new claim. For assistance, call Montgomery County Veterans Service Commission at 937-225-4801.
Looking for sweet heat that's hard to beat? Head to Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken and try the hot honey chicken.
Tonight, the Wright State Raiders will the Penguins at Youngstown State University coming to the market 8-3 in the Garage. The Raiders just a game back at 7-4. Coach, you mentioned earlier the state in 3-2. Tonight, the Wright State Raiders host the Penguins.
Tough shot. We've got to get the first.
Coach, good luck tonight with the Penguins.
Thank you.